Hi everyone. Teacher Andrew is just lounging in this canoe, reading you some back-to-back stories because it's been a few days since we've shared any, and I want to keep filling your lives with great literature. So one more, which is more of a modern book, but it did win the Caldecott honor. It is Clack Moo, Cows That Type by Doreen, Cronin, pictures by Betsy, Lewin. And the fun fact about Teacher Andrew and this book is that once upon a time, before I'd actually even read this book and before I was a teacher, I was in a play of Clack Moo, Cows That Type. And I played Farmer Brown, the farmer whose cows type. So when you see Farmer Brown in this book, you can imagine a younger Teacher Andrew in a set of overalls, you know, grumpily following around the cows and saying the things that he says. So there you go. Clack Moo, Cows That Type. Do any of you know what a typewriter is? Any of your families have a typewriter at home? Before there was the computers with all the little keys on them, there was these big clunky machines that had metal keys, and you went chickum, and it pulled a little stamp up, and the stamp hit the paper, and it put the ink right into the paper with the letter, the shape of the letter, and then went back. And if you did it really fast, it could still work, so it would go and then you'd have a whole word. It's amazing. Clack Moo, Cows That Type. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. At first he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible! Click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. And then he couldn't believe his eyes. And tacked outside the barn is this note, and it says, "Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows." It was bad enough that the cows had found the only typewriter in the barn, and now they wanted electric blankets? "No way," said Farmer Brown. "No electric blankets!" So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. "Sorry, we're closed. No milk today." So growing on strike is when you stop doing the job that you normally do because you are not being treated very well by the boss and you have a demand. So these cows are normally, their job is to give milk to Farmer Brown, but they're saying, no, it's too cold at night. What are you gonna do for us? "No milk today," cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. The next day, he got another note. "Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows." The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. "Closed. No milk, no eggs." "No eggs!" cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. Cows that type, hens on strike. Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. I think maybe that was more of the voice that I did when I played Farmer Brown. I was like a New England farmer. "Cows that type, hens on strike. Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs?" It's getting there. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. "Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown." Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided that this was a good deal, so he left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. The next morning he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. And there was a duck diving into the pond. In the play of this story, they did much, much, much more with the ducks and the cows and all the other animals, and I believe there are many more books where those adventures take place. Perhaps I will share some of them. I'm not sure if I have any. We'll see. Well, everyone, thanks for joining me. Just another day in the garden. See you next time.